Alright, hello everybody, this is WOAH Productions, and welcome to another Hytale video. Okay, so PvP is one thing that people have been really curious about online that I've noticed. So I want to go make a video about that today, going into all of the specific details about PvP that we know already, and maybe even a little bit of speculation here or there about what's to come. Alright, so first off, before we get into the super crazy PvP stuff that we already know, Hytale gave a reason for why there wasn't a ton of PvP in the trailer. They said that because they want to develop PvP kind of alongside the community, they haven't shown us a whole lot about it yet, but they also said something interesting here. It said they're going to deliver deep and varied PvP that's both fun and fair. So, deep and varied PvP. And I'll go into a tweet by Simon about this in a second, getting a little bit more specific. Also, they also say that combat sort of stuff is going to be covered more deeply in future preview articles. So hopefully soon we'll get a taste of actually what PvP is going to be like. I want to go over here though. Talk more about this varied PvP sort of thing. So Simon says, well, at the moment it's 100% configurable and can be anything. I'm pretty sure it's referring to weapons and combat in general. And just a matter of finding the right balance. I like that happy face in there. Good. Alright, also it varies per weapon. So if you like X type of PvP, you can do PvP with that weapon, for example. I'm pretty sure what he's trying to say here is that there's a different play style for every weapon in the game. For example, there's a certain way that you're going to use your sword against someone with a bow or with a wand or something along those lines. Same thing with any other kind of weapon. So if you really like staying at a distance, you could potentially go for something more like the bow. And an example here. So he says, in the trailer you see this shield/sword combo being a bit fast-paced. Then the 2H weapon by the end after the spellcaster is shown is slower. So you can, depending on which weapon you choose, you can kind of see how fast gameplay is going to be or how slow. So there's just going to be a lot of variety in the weapons. There's a lot of weapons in the game, I can tell you that much. Alright, we're about to go into the trailer to see what's in the trailer, what the trailer reveals about PvP and all that. Really quickly though, for minigame players, we've created Hytale with anti-cheat in mind in order to make multiplayer fair and more fun. Essentially, Hytale is going to avoid the hacker problem that Minecraft has had for a very long time through this anti-cheat. And also, Hytale isn't going to be the same kind of moddable that Minecraft is. It's still going to be super moddable, but it's not going to be moddable in the way that you'll be able to create hacks. So that's going to be better. So you won't have like a random guy in a Skywars game who just comes up and decides to fly to your base and break your bet. You get the idea. Okay, now you see this video here, I just realized this is 2 minutes 22 seconds. Look at that. Alright, the Hytale trailer shows actually a decent amount of weapons and things. We start with this scene. Look at this staff wand sort of thing, a shield here, a potion. So this stuff is mostly in Minecraft here. Shield, potion, whatever. This is not in Minecraft, but this wand staff thing. And I'll skip to the end of the trailer really quickly here so we can see what exactly that does, because it's finally shown at the end here. Watch closely. You ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. Here we are. Throw down the staff thing and the ice spikes appear off the ground. That looks pretty cool. And I'm assuming that's going to be available in the game, considering they've shown it in the trailer, but no guarantees. You also see a bow here and a bunch of different weapons. Alright, we got a guy with a bow here, and this is the first scene where we actually see some decent PvP action. You can see, we might have even something like crits here, I'm not sure, but swinging action. You see how those like a dual sword swing this way, and that's one part that I see in a lot of games, but not in Minecraft, where you swing your sword one way, swing it the other way, and you get a lot of interesting animations with that. Fighting this ogre guy. Again, this ogre guy has such a crazy axe, but then this guy's blocking it with a shield. He's even jumping over the other guy's axe in a bit, and that sounds really cool. So, if you want more, here's this flaming sword. This thing looks really great. We don't get to see him use it. That's too bad. But what we do get to see is right here. You see this guy the staff wand thing again, throwing a fireball at this guy's face, and I guess that was some really good aim right there. I'm proud of this guy. A spinning sort of move here by this guy. So again, this is kind of saying how much variance in the PvP play styles there is. So I think like if they add all these weapons to Skywars, for example, I don't know if they will, but if they do decide to add all of them, it's gonna be like a really, really interesting kind of game. Anyway, now we have community servers, and remember we get to this is where we get to see the mini games also really quickly. You see this guy right here? You see this guy? Look at this propeller on the back of his head. I hope they add that to Skywars. It'd be hilarious. There he goes. This is playing at 25% speed, so like you go into the actual game, it's gonna be like super crazy. Let's skip ahead to Skywars. This is the Shire map rebuilt in Hytale. We got a ton of PvP action here. You see this swinging of the sword, and it looks like combos and knockback are a thing here too. And armor as well. So you can see there's a lot going on there. Let's go back. And I want to turn your attention to this person over here who just jumps off their path, turns around, and gets this crazy crit on this guy, just knocking him really far back. And that's an interesting aspect of PvP here. I don't think this is going to be entirely CPS based, like Minecraft. If you get more CPS, it's really easy to get combos and all that. But again, they're going to be working with the community to get something that most people are happy with. Also look on the side. Let's look on the side here. This guy's placing blocks like in Bedrock Edition, where you just place a block in front of you. So no need to speed bridge there, I guess. I don't know. But what we also have, watch right here, explosion, jump. Is that like a fireball TNT jump sort of thing? I don't know if it's actually going to be with TNT, but that looks pretty cool. Also in this scene, there's just people everywhere. You can look at this in slow-mo like I'm doing if you want to see what else there is here. This guy's bowing this guy. He's epically failing a jump. Oh, he's shifting. Alright, he's dancing. Alright. This guy shooting arrow. This guy who's just epically failing, trying to jump and falling into the void. We also have other games like Skywars here. Watch these two. Oh, fancy PP. And we got a lot of interesting stuff here. You feel free to go back through this in the trailer. And one important point to make here is that all of this stuff that's here, it's going to be put into the game in such a way that you can edit it and kind of mod it. So here's like a PvE sort of game, where it's a top-down sort of shooter and fighting these mobs. So if you don't like the PvP, I think it might be possible then to make your own, considering how moddable the game's gonna be. It sounds like I hope it'll be that way. So that's pretty much it for everything in the trailer. But we do have some interesting stuff in concept art. See just the extent of weapons in the game. So let's go check that out. Alright, so in concept art, this isn't things that are guaranteed to be in the game, but they're ideas that Hytale's come up with for things that they think could be cool to put into the game. I'm pretty sure I saw the back propeller in the game, in the hub, and again, that would be cool as like an alternative to the Ender Pearl in Skywars. Imagine you knock this guy into the void only to realize that he has a back propeller and he just flies back up behind you and kills. Anyway, jetpack, backpack, shield, diving device, wings, all these different stuff, even a parachute here. So that sounds like it'll be really cool. I don't know if they're going to be putting all this stuff into the game or not. They have not said, but it's ideas that they have. Alright, here's Weapon Research 1, and you can see there's like an immense amount of different kinds of weapons and different variants of these weapons and things. We have a cleaver, a dagger, a club, a sword, a staff, a wand, and all these other things over here. There's a lot of stuff here, and a lot of different looks to these as well. So really in-depth weapons and things like that. And I mean, I'd expect that because this Hytale's going to be an adventure and PvP sort of game, you know. Here we have skeleton gears research, and this is interesting to me. I think Minecraft, it doesn't really, there's just one texture for every kind of sword, and that's pretty much all you get. But here there's like alternative variants to weapons based on where the mob is from, kind of thing. So this skeleton has an icy sort of sword. This guy has a sand sword staff thing. I don't know what that is. This is a sword, but it's rusty. and there's all this different stuff, so it looks really intriguing. Finally, we have Weapons Research 2, and this shows so many weapons. So many. Look at all those weapons. Okay. We have all these different variants of all these different kinds of weapons, and it's like so much stuff. Here's like a nice club here, and like, oh man, you just look at this for like 5 minutes if you want to get all of it covered, see what kinds of weapons could be in the game. Again, this is concept art, so they're not all necessarily in the game right now, but I'm gonna zoom in really quickly, cause down here this text is incredibly small and difficult to read. But player's iron sword, here's it looks like swords could even be a little bit modular in the way that they're put into the game. So we have different blade shapes and decorations and handles and symbols and all that, and you see a lot of this changes for the skeleton version of this. The blade's kind of rusty. Is it? I don't even. It looks almost wooden to me, but I don't know. And maybe even a little bit of a different handle kind of thing, and not as much of a decoration on the bottom. So they've really gone really in depth to see all of this different variants of weapons. So I think that looks really cool. Alright, so as for when we could be seeing some of this combat stuff, says we know that many of you are hungry for more information about Hytale. Starting in early January, a series of articles going into detail about different features of the game. And could one of those be combat? Could we be seeing combat footage in early January going in depth on stuff? Maybe. I'm not sure. But they say, we know that combat, modding, and server specifics are important to large parts of the community, so they're paying special attention to these topics. And in the new year, they're going to be trying to get the information we need to us. So, hopefully a blog post on combat. There's also a post on Twitter over here. So, they say that they're still working on projectile and magic stuff. So, they couldn't. That's why they couldn't put out combat as a main thing in the December, I think it was 20th Hytale blog. But I mean, it's not out of the picture. We could be getting combat blogs in early January even. So just stay tuned for that on the Hytale website and on their blog to see what's going on. And of course, I'll try to keep you guys up to date with all of the new features on the game. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe this video if you want to let me know I should do more Hytale videos like this. We stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And by the way, if there's anything I missed, feel free to tell me down in the comments. Maybe I'll put it in the description or something if I missed something. I'll try to update this description of this video, see if I can, if there's new information coming out after this video is released. But hey, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys later. Have a good day /night/Nickface.